Good evening, Zimbabwe. This is Change Radio News. Today is Thursday, 23 October 2025. The news is read by Divine Nambira. Here are the news headlines. Corruption in hospitals undermines public health. Conviction of Chimombe and Mpofu as ZANU-PF scapegoat. And villagers resist land grab by officials in Matobo. And now for the news in detail. An investigation has exposed corruption in Zimbabwe's public hospitals, where some doctors and nurses are allegedly receiving kickbacks for referring patients to private laboratories. At Parirenyatwa Hospital, private lab agents reportedly operate within hospital grounds, charging patients inflated fees for tests that should be available at public facilities. Health workers say the practice is driven by shortages of equipment and medical supplies caused by government underfunding, leaving patients with little choice but to seek private services. Experts warn that the referral kickback system is worsening inequality and eroding public trust in healthcare. High Court Judge Justice Pisirai Kwenda has found ZANU-PF Central Committee member Mike Chimombe and his business partner Moses Mpofu guilty of defrauding the government of $7 million in a botched presidential gold scheme. The pair had secured a $87 million scheme by forging certificates and received a $7 million advance before the fraud was uncovered. Sentencing is set for 29 October. Critics say the case exposes political double standards, noting others like Hwange Unit have benefited from similar schemes without consequence. Observers argue Chimombe and Mpofu are being punished publicly to cover up deeper failures and protect ZANU-PF's image. Villagers at Fox Farm in Matobo are resisting what they call a corrupt attempt by senior officials to seize their land. The dispute pits long-term residents against the Matobo District Land Commissioner and an unnamed senior intelligence officer from Rwanda. The villagers accuse the officials of secretly reallocating their homestays to outsiders, forcing them to vacate. They allege the officials are using police to suppress resistance. One affected villager stated that they had successfully challenged a similar eviction attempt in the High Court back in 2017. When contacted for comment, the Land Commissioner Johannes Ifunze refused to speak to reporters over the phone. He has been previously linked to similar land scandals in other provinces. The villagers are now appealing for government intervention to stop the takeover. Workers at Zimsona Mine in Rishavane have taken their management to the Labour Ministry, accusing it of intimidation and violating labour rights. The Zimbabwe Diamond and Allied Minerals Workers Union alleges that supervisors threatened employees for joining the union and forced them to renounce membership. Union Secretary General Justice Chinema says over 100 workers were victimized, underpaid, and denied protective gear and registration with labor bodies. Management denies the allegations, claiming union officials met workers during working hours without approval. The Labour Ministry is yet to respond. Reports from Manicaland say Chinese miners are back at Christmas Pass, sparking anger among Mutare residents. Environmental activist Farai Maguwu warns the miners are attempting a secret return. An agenda for a meeting circulated yesterday, but locals say no official invitation, consultant's name, or signature was provided. Residents demand the Chinese first repair the environmental damage from their previous operations before any new consultations. Critics accuse the companies of plundering Zimbabwe's natural heritage, blasting through mountains, polluting rivers, and damaging landscapes in pursuit of profit. Emmerson Mnangagwa has approved a new salary structure for university lecturers and staff. The announcement was made by the Permanent Secretary for Higher and Tertiary Education, Professor Fanuo Tagwera, during a parliamentary committee meeting on the 2026 national budget. However, Finance Minister Mutuli has not yet released the funds, leaving the promise unfulfilled. Critics say the government is quick to make promises but slow to act, a charge amplified by Mnangagwa's silence during the recent University of Zimbabwe lecturers' strike. His lack of response during the crisis, when students and lecturers were most desperate, raised questions about his commitment to education. Instead of addressing the situation directly, he remained quiet, only to emerge later with symbolic gestures. Observers say this has become a familiar pattern. Mnangagwa appears only when situations reach a breaking point, taking credit for temporary relief rather than ensuring lasting change. The Zimbabwe Republic Police is urging citizens to report any officers or individuals impersonating police who engage in corruption, bribery, or suspicious behavior, especially those who fail to show proper identification. To report misconduct, the public can call 0713 407 906 or 0242 443 457 or 0242 703 631 or visit their nearest police station. A new tombstone has been erected for the late music star John Chibadura, replacing his old broken-down grave that saddened many fans. The tombstone was provided for free by Tendai Mbofana, owner of Ngoda Granites, who refused payment even when journalist Hopo Chingono offered to cover the costs. Mbofana said he wanted to honor Chibadura as a way of thanking him for his contribution to music. The generous act has been widely praised as a powerful example of community spirit. And in news from local communities, a 19-year-old student attached to a private contractor has died after being electrocuted in Budiriro 1 extension on Wednesday, 22 October 2025. The Zimbabwe Electricity Transmission and Distribution Company ZETDC says electricity was switched on while work was underway on a medium voltage line. Preliminary investigations revealed that no permit or authorization had been issued and the contractor was working outside ZETDC's safety protocols. Zimbabweans face worsening power cuts as Hwange Power Station Unit 8 is offline for 10 days due to a technical fault. Unit 3 has been offline since 10 September for maintenance, and current national generation stands at 1.296 megawatts, below the peak demand of 2,000 megawatts. Hwange Unit 7 and increased output at Kariba South are helping mitigate the shortfall. In entertainment news, the Zimbabwe Music Rights Association ZIMURA has elected a new 6-member board of directors. The new board consists of Alexio Gwenzi, Batanai First, Dungumuzi Puti, Derek Mpofu, Joseph Garakara, and Gift Amuli will lead efforts to protect and promote the rights of Zimbabwean music creators. ZIMURA says it is confident the new leadership will advance the interests of artists nationwide. In international news, Cameroon's top court has dismissed all petitions challenging October's presidential election, clearing the way for the final results. 10 petitions had alleged ballot stuffing, intimidation, and other irregularities, but the court said there was insufficient evidence. Candidate Issa Chiroma claims he won the vote and rejects any other outcome. Unofficial results show President Paul Biya in the lead. Sporadic protests have erupted in cities including Garoua. The Constitutional Council has until Sunday to announce the final results. And finally, in sports news, the Zimbabwe Football Association has terminated the contract of Warriors head coach Michael Nees with immediate effect. The decision has been welcomed by local soccer fans who say Nees failed to deliver results. ZIFA says it remains committed to developing Zimbabwean football and will announce details of the transition and interim technical arrangements soon. Zimbabwe recorded a dominant victory over Afghanistan in a one-off test at Harare Sports Club on Wednesday, winning by an innings and 73 runs. Afghanistan were bowled out for 127 and 159, while Zimbabwe scored 359 in their first innings. The win highlights Zimbabwe's growing strength in Test cricket and strong teamwork in both battling and bowling. To end this news bulletin, here are the headlines once again. Corruption in hospitals undermines public health. Conviction of Chimombe and Mpofu, a ZANU-PF scapegoat. And villagers resist land grab by officials in Matobo. And that concludes our bulletin for today. We thank you for listening. From myself and the entire team at Change Radio, we wish you a good night.